The Buffalo Bills dominate Pittsburgh Steelers 9-3. A defensive banger for the Buffalo Bills. Welcome to Buffalo Against the World.
This is Buffalo Against the World Sports Talk with Kulu and
Cuzin Brad.
Bills Mafia. It's our time.
Act like you know, baby.
Act like you know.
Hey, every time we hear that Monsters energy drink, Cuzin Brad, we get amped. It is Buffalo,
Absolutely.
the 40th episode of Buffalo Against the World, hosted by myself, Kulu, and my cousin Brad. Cousin Brad, man, how's your week been so far, man?
Great. I mean, it was a roller coaster of a week. It was a roller coaster of a week for any Bills fan. You know, obviously we got bad news about our starting linebacker. But we got some hope. We got some hope. We're going to get into that today. Welcome, everyone, to Buffalo Against the World. Please make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get all updates. But it's been a roller coaster of a week. Roller coaster week, but we got some hope. But first, before we get into this game, let's take us around the league. Cuzin Brad, take us around the league. What's happening in the NFL? Well, all right. We'll take a jolly good quest as we go around the league. We are going to start off in Washington as the Washington Commanders officially announced that rookie Jaden Daniels, you remember Jaden Daniels, rookie second overall pick from LSU, will be their starting quarterback for this upcoming season. And apparently it is Minshew Mania in Sin City because the Las Vegas Raiders have announced that Gardner Minshew officially is their starting quarterback for this upcoming year. Newly acquired defensive player, edge rusher Matt Judon, formerly of the New England Patriots, received some sort of an idea from the Falcons that he was going to get a contract extension. And he told the Atlanta Falcons, quote, "The Atlanta Falcons don't know me as a football player. They don't know my history, so I can't demand something I haven't worked for." So we'll see how it goes when it comes to that. A little bit of injury update when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. First of all, a couple of injuries here. Mitch Trubisky is dealing with a knee injury. MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling is dealing with a neck injury. Tight end Quentin Morris is out with a shoulder injury. And considering week-to-week, two players, safety DeMar Hamlin is week-to-week with a hamstring injury. Wide receiver Curtis Samuel is week-to-week as he deals with a turf toe. Stephon Gilmore, you remember Stephon Gilmore, former Bills first-round pick, signed a one-year deal with the Minnesota Vikings. That's interesting. And I don't know. It's pretty much around the league. Bills won 9-3, no touchdowns. Still haven't scored a touchdown yet. But we got something that I think will be very, 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 very valuable. We will get into that a little later on.
Yeah.
That's around the league.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Cousin Brad. Look, man, a dominant performance by the defense. I like to start on the positive side of the football. Mm-hmm. And look, it was a dub. We talk about how to win a football game, and sometimes there's going to be games where you're going to win games off the leg of Tyler Bass, who really showed improvement, 3 for 3 out there. The confidence, let's keep building on that confidence that he had going into the season last year. We believe in you, and we want to see more and more from you. But this week's game ball got to go to the defensive side of the ball, and that's exactly where we are going to start, Cuzzo. Look, Cuz, man, we had a lot of standouts, but before we get into the standouts, just an update that came through the Built-in Buffalo chat that Mike Edwards and Cole Bishop are back to practice. They are doing individual drills right now, so they are not full practice yet, but they are doing some individual drills along with Nick Marlowe, linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. So that's some good news coming into guys coming back from the injury bug. That's good to have, especially at the safety position. So,
absolutely awesome, wonderful news. Can't wait to see these guys on the field. They probably will not see any action this Saturday against Carolina, but it's good to have them back. Good to have them back doing individual drills because, man, we had some upsetting news. Some upsetting news this week. Upsetting news. We know our favorite linebacker, Matt Milano. Our guy, he was going on his revenge tour. We're real excited. He was coming into camp. He was in shape. Complete body transformation. They showed the vignettes. His revenge tour was going to start. And then it happened. He injured his bicep. He's going to have surgery. He is out indefinitely. Yeah. And every Bills fan, including myself, had pretty much every no video you could find on YouTube on an endless loop in their head. Just go ahead. Just a giant no. It just sounded horrible. All was lost. We thought it was over. And then it happened.
Yep.
A guy out of nowhere. We were talking about the defense. Shout out to Greg Russo. 2 sacks. Going to make it very awkward at contract time this season. We'll get to him in a minute. But there was a guy. There was one man. One man! A kid not too far from where we live right now. Lancaster High School. Undrafted guy out of the University of Buffalo. Horns up. Came into the mix. They call him Buffalo Joe. Joe Andreessen. Oh, Buffalo Joe. This guy came out of nowhere. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Buffalo Joe came on the field. Your man, if understood the assignment was a person, this man understood the assignment. He knew exactly what he had to do. Somebody showed him every motivational YouTube video. Somebody sent him every motivational tweet. Somebody showed him every motivational quote. Somebody gave him a book full of motivational scriptures he can read. He read all of them. He looked to Sean McDermott. He looked to the rest of the team. He gave them a salute and said, I know what I must do. He showed up. He showed up this Saturday, 12 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. We got a player. We got a player here.
You know, Cuzzo, I really like this kid, not only because he's a hometown kid, but also for the simple fact this guy has great instincts.
Oh, yes.
This is really my first look at this kid for real, like where we really get to see him in action with the exception of special teams. And this kid, like, he gets downhill and he attacks the ball.
Absolutely.
He attacks the ball. He disengages from offensive linemen very well for somebody 235. Now, we talk about this linebacking core. We talk about Matt Milano, and we talk about Bernard, and we talk about Dorian Williams.
Yes.
Dorian Williams was the talk of the pregame.
Yes,
Pre-game, it was all on him. What are we going to do now that Milano's gone? It was on him. It was some talk about Deion Jones. They weren't the talk. It was my man Buffalo Joe who really showed up and made a name for himself to make this 53-man roster. I like his instincts. I like his speed. Even though he doesn't have the size, he's 235, but he's playing like he's 255. He's coming downhill, breaking engagement with offensive linemen and making tackles in the backfield. That's what I'm talking about, football.
Absolutely, you're 1,000% right. Now, shout out to Dorian Williams because he did play well. There was one play he got his ankles broken. You know, that happens. Not easy to make open field tackles sometimes. I get it. But this dude, Buffalo Joe Andreessen, his ability as a rookie to read and react was on 99. It was on 99 Saturday. He understood the assignment. Every time they threw something at him, and there were shout out to Cover One. We watch the show, watch the information, very inspirational. There were a number of times where they game planned for this kid because they knew it was his first game, knew it was a guy coming off the street, hometown kid. They actually used a bubble wedge to get at him. Reacted to the play, made the plays. I love this kid. If this dude, we talked about it throughout the shows, we talked about it, get some good film. If this dude is not signed by the Bills, somebody's going to pick this dude up.
Yep. Dorian played well too. Like, I don't want to take nothing away from Dorian.
Absolutely,
he played very, very well as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of them things that Buffalo Joe just stole his hype.
Absolutely,
at that linebacker position.
Shout out to Josh Allen.
Definitely shout out to Josh for giving him the name.
Yo,
it's up for this kid, and at the linebacker position, like, the competition is going to be really, really thick for guys like Yulo Fosio, for guys like Deion Jones, who has the experience. But here's what I like about this team right now, Cuzzo. I'm really liking the young players.
Yes,
like, you think about. Yes, look at Daquan Hardy, right? Mm-hmm. Look at Jamarcus Ingram. Look at these, Cole Bishop, who we're yet to see, who we're excited to see. These young guys are keeping some of these veteran players
on their toes.
On their toes.
1,000%.
No, but I called it, cuz.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
I called it. Now, you got to give me this one. I called it. I said, this roster, depth-wise, is the best that we've had in the Josh Allen era. I said that.
You did say that. But
keep that in mind.
Now, hold on. It's ironic that you say that, because not only do they have the veteran guys on their toes, if you look at the sideline, the veterans are hyping them up like, woo, good play, young fella. Good play, young fella. It doesn't even have to be something crazy. It was just, wow, he made a tackle. Good play, young fella. He's getting hyped by like 4 or 5 guys on the sideline. So the camaraderie is there again. Like, this team is out there just having fun and actually just playing ball, and I love it.
Yep. And the thing is, bro, it's really encouraging to see. It's not one of those things where you lose a guy like Milano, and then you're like, it hurts. It hurts because we think about what could have been if he would have played against Kansas City, him and Bernard together. We know that tandem looked at real smash mouth last year in the beginning of the season before he got hurt. Yeah. And, the very same week he gets hurt, this kid steps up. Dorian Williams shows what he can do. Something I'm going to keep saying about Dorian is just the over pursuit. He's got to stop over pursuing. He's got to get, he plays very hard. And he really struggles. His main struggle is the passing game. His main struggle is the passing game and over pursuing. If he can get that under control, I mean, the guy is a freak of nature. He's a napkin.
Yes.
He's a freak of nature, and like, he can come downhill and he'll hit you in the mouth.
Very much.
That's the only thing he's got to clean up.
Yeah, and you can tell he's been working on it. You can definitely tell he's been working on it. They threw a couple of I don't want to say RPOs at him. They threw a couple of RPOs at him. And he didn't over pursue a lot in this game. There was one play, had the guy dead to rights. It was 3rd down. Just had to make the tackle. Guy made a heck of a play. Did break his ankles on the play. But over than that, he did have a great game. Now, do want to give credit where credit is due. The Steelers look awful. They look awful out there. I'm sorry. I'm just going to give credit where credit is due. Mike Tomlin, who I know is a great coach. This man has never had a losing season in his entire career. He is not happy with that team. That team is awful. Like, you got to make a decision between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Honestly, man, we might draft somebody if I'm him, because you got last place in the AFC North written all over you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be real tough for them. I definitely, if I'm looking at, just 3 points out of Russell Wilson, the Super Bowl champion quarterback, I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like I need to go with the young guy at that point. Maybe Russell Wilson need to hold the clipboard for a little bit.
I agree.
But there's nothing I saw out of him that shows that he's bouncing back to that championship caliber quarterback. I mean, I guess you're trying to tell Justin Fields, like, hey, like, look, man, you got a lot to learn from this veteran quarterback, but that's not what I saw out there. Speaking of the QBs, we got to give some credit to Russo. We got to give some credit to Nessa. We got to give some credit to Ed Oliver, who came back with a vengeance again after last week, that quick injury he had early in the game. The front four was in Russell Wilson's face all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Man, big shout out to the front four. I feel like they dominated the line of scrimmage.
Groot came alive. Greg Rousseau, Groot came alive. He is going to make it very awkward at contract time. We know he's going into a contract year. We know he want to get paid. We know this is the rookie contract ending and you want more money. So he's going to make it real awkward. He's going to make it real awkward. And he did a heck of a job. He had 2 sacks in the first quarter. Scary stuff. He keeps playing like this, it's on and popping.
Absolutely. You know, we got to also give a nice shout out to Daquan Hardy. This guy's a slot corner. He's like, what, 5'9"? He's a slot corner. And this guy played pretty well on the outside, covering Pickens. Was it Pickens? That's the receiver's name, a starting corner. And, you know, they allowed 3 catches for short yardage on him. Yeah. Like, he played absolutely well, playing out his mind. Looked like this kid has a possibility to make this roster. What's your thoughts on Hardy?
I thought Hardy played very well. I think he did, a lot of read and react stuff. They didn't really throw too much. It was more of a running game, obviously because of the weather conditions. And like one of our comments says, it was preseason. They weren't showing too many schemes, but they were doing a lot of run plays, and he was there on the run support. He was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. Now, hey, Pickens caught that pass. That was a catch. I don't know what the refs were seeing. They reviewed it. That was a catch to me. I don't see how that wasn't a catch.
I saw them feet dangling out of bounds. That's what I saw.
It looked like a catch to me. I'll just say it. But I think Hardy did absolutely. I think he went out there and did his job. I think everybody out there on that team did their job. MVS, we talked about him. He did get hit pretty hard again.
We're going to come back. We're going to come to that when we get to the offense. When we get to the offense, we're giving the defense their flowers first.
Okay. Ed Oliver showed up. Hardy showed up. That entire defensive line was doing their job. They understood the assignment, and they made it easy for Buffalo Joe to go out there and get 12 solo tackles and 2 of them for a loss. They made it easy for out there, and they blitzed. Which was great. Finally get out there, show some blitzing. I loved it. Yeah. Love the defensive standouts. Go ahead.
Couple other standouts. I like Javon Solomon, another rookie. Again, a guy who had 4 quarterback pressures. He didn't have as many snaps as he probably would have liked to have in a preseason game, but he got 4 quarterback pressures. He also was setting the edge very well in the run game. So that's something you want to see from a backup defensive end. To keep well, he's a linebacker / defensive end, somebody that you want to see continuing to show that he can set the edge. That's something that rookies can't do. They usually just don't do that until like year 2 or 3. He's coming in right away showing that. So I like what I'm seeing from him. Also, Jamarcus Ingram. What's your thoughts on Solomon? Sorry, before I move on.
No, it's good. Solomon actually did exactly what he was supposed to do. I mean, this was a really interesting game because, number one, the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously a team in transition. They don't know who their starter is going to be. So this is one of those games where it's kind of like the dress rehearsal sort of thing. Remember when they had 4 games in the preseason, the starters would play maybe a half. They didn't know who their starter was going to be. And all of the guys on the defensive line, including Solomon, played really well against arguably maybe their starting quarterbacks. They're starting offense out there. Now they got a guy on their offense that was a rookie. He didn't. He played his first game out there. He did his job, but Solomon was definitely flashing out. Did exactly what he's supposed to do. A lot of read and react sort of plays that they did, and they understood the assignment. They were doing very well.
Absolutely. Also, I like Jamarcus Ingram. Yeah, I almost said Jamarcus Russell. Well, Jamarcus Ingram. Really, also another corner, 6'2", 190 corner. This is his second year. He showed me something too. He was played the ball very, very well at corner. My man Kyer Elam continues to impress. I smile every time I see the first rounder. He is the former first rounder. He's really showing something. He's doing this thing. Keep it up, kid. I'm glad to see you making some plays because look, we talked about it, Cuzzo. Right now we're down at safety. You might see some of these corner guys like Kyer Elam get moved over to safety temporarily because we don't have much depth there now that we got Mike Edwards down, DeMar Hamlin is down, and on top of that, Cole Bishop is down. So that's 3 linebackers down. 3 safeties down. Yeah. Come on now. So Elam, keep playing the way you're playing. You may get on the field. They might have to mix things up to keep you on the field, even with Benford and Douglas. I think I like his chances the way how he can play in this game. What's your thoughts?
What do you think? Should we give Micah Hyde a ring? Maybe just give him a call. Maybe shoot him a text.
That's it.
Stay ready. Stay ready just in case.
That's it for him.
I don't know. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
No. He's not in football shape. Probably.
We don't know.
Probably hasn't.
We don't know what he's doing.
He hasn't been on the team, man.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. You got guys in house that can. I mean, if you're absolutely desperate, why not? But
he knows the system. Veteran presence. I don't know. I would say at least give him a text. Look, stay in shape. Stay in shape. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your question?
Yeah, no, I was asking how you feel about Elam. Again, he's continuing to show he's been probably the best corner. Him and Benford have been the 2 best corners since training camp began on through the preseason. What's your thoughts?
I think, Elam, just await your opportunity. Every opportunity you get, make sure you're ready for it. Obviously, you were a first-round pick out of Florida. I don't want to say underwhelming, but we have high expectations for you. The door's wide open. Every opportunity you get, take advantage of. We see you changed your number to number 5. Don't know why you did that, but okay. Now it's time to show up or ship out. Show up, ship out. Every time you get on the field, make a play. Seize every opportunity you get. So far, you're absolutely right. He has been doing that. So absolutely.
Yeah, man. I really also like what I'm seeing from Kingsley Jonathan, as Cuzzo mentioned here. Kingsley Jonathan, another stud, another gem we have on this team. Again, health has been an issue all throughout the league. A lot of these guys are going to have opportunities, and you best believe Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott are paying close attention to that.
Definitely.
They're paying close attention to say, hey, look, we can't afford to cut certain guys like a Joe Andreessen. Certain guys you can't cut because now
they're going to get somewhere else. They're going to get an opportunity somewhere else.
These guys, they're too good. These players like Andreessen, they're so good that if they get seen on the waiver wire somewhere, they're gone.
Absolutely. And Kingsley Jonathan absolutely showed out. Dude is definitely a hidden gem out there. Again, this was a game where the defense showed out. I got to give credit to the defense. Steelers were in scoring position. They only allowed field goals. I appreciate everything the defense brought to the table. They did everything against pretty much the Pittsburgh starting offense. So I give nothing but credit to the defense.
Absolutely. And at this time, before we make the change to the offense, we want to make sure you like, share, subscribe to the Built in Buffalo platform.
Please do.
All right. Make sure you subscribe to the Built in Buffalo platform, which is brought to you, powered by the official energy partner of Monster Energy Drink, the official energy partner of the Built in Buffalo platform. And now we're going to turn over to the offensive side of the ball. Again, we have seen no touchdowns yet.
Came close.
Yes, came close. Still some offensive standouts, and there are some letdowns. Let's start on the standout side. What did you like from the offense?
I tell you what, this offensive line, we were worried about them going into the season here. Obviously, Josh Allen was supposed to get the nod, but obviously weather conditions prevented him from actually getting the start. He was supposed to play maybe a quarter and a half, but it started coming down out there in Pittsburgh, and he didn't play. But they kept Mitch Trubisky pretty clean. There was a situation where Mitch Trubisky could have ran for the first down, but he's not a running quarterback, so he kind of got hit. It is what it is. But this offensive line, this new group of guys, played extremely well, running and pass blocking. I like what they're doing with McGovern. I like McGovern making that move that he did to transition over there. He's doing well. Osiris Torrance playing perfect at the guard position. Deion Dawkins, I mean, he does exactly what he's supposed to do. Leo Collins, who I feel hasn't really gotten a lot of recognition, but he was out there doing his thing. He actually played pretty well and kept the new guy. I can't remember the new guy's name. I'm sorry. Is it Vic Danucci? What is his name? Danucci. He kept him clean. Leo Collins got up there and he kept clean. This offensive line, who I was really worried about, we talked about it on the show, played extremely well. So I think the standout was definitely the offensive line.
Yeah, definitely. And the offensive line is the guys that make the running backs. But I believe the running backs took the shine. They took the shine of the day for the offense. James Cook ran the ball very effectively. My man, Big Play Ray, he ran extremely hard and brought that tenacious attitude that we want to see from downhill runners. He was running hard and fierce. That's what I'm talking about. So those two
guys almost scored. He was this close.
Almost scored. And Ty Johnson got in there and got some reps in as well and got some positive yards too. So I like what I saw from the running game. Again, this is not game plan. This is just line up and we're going to do what we do to you and you try to stop it. And guess what? You know, our guys put in work. Our front guys put in work and the running backs show what they are all about, all the way down to Frank Gore Jr.
Absolutely. This offense, they just said, hey, man, we're going to line up our guys. You line up your guys, we're going to push your guys around. That was the type of game it was. Obviously, the field conditions were different due to the rain. It was kind of I don't want to say passing game. It was more of a run. Here you go, run. And the offensive line did perfect. They opened up them holes for Ray Davis. Even Frank Gore Jr. had a nice little run there. But yeah, Ray Davis, James Cook, Ty Johnson, all the running backs had good showing out there. So kudos to the offensive line. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, offensive line definitely played well, but we got to talk about the letdowns, Cuzzo. Still no touchdowns.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Some drop passes out there. You know, Keon Coleman struggling to separate. Like, you know, this is something that, you know, a lot of people was one of his critiques on him coming into the NFL, basically.
Yeah, it was great.
The ability to separate, you know, at the NFL level.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're gonna do about a letdown, I gotta say the letdown will be the wide receiving core. The wide receiving core, they did not show up and get separation. MVS, Keon Coleman, I get it. Like Scott says, the backup quarterbacks are terrible. I get it, but still, I mean, show me something. Show me something out there. Show me a tough catch. Show me a play where you make a play where you create separation. I was not seeing that. I didn't see it out of any of our receivers out there. Exactly. Keon Coleman, I didn't see the separation. Again, this guy, not the fastest guy, but maybe he has game speed. I didn't see it. Scantling, he did make a catch, but he got hurt, so I really can't fault him for the injury. Shorter, not a fan. I mean, I wasn't impressed. A lot of these guys, I don't even think, did Claypool even play?
Claypool's on. He's gone. He's released.
No, I thought Claypool's he was hurt.
Really. No, he got released. He got released on an injury.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been released from injury because he went on IR, and you know, I guess the Bills had to, you know, do the injury release. So he's you know, they can bring him back. But he's dealing with he's dealing with a toe injury, so injury settlement. So
and Curtis Samuel, he didn't play, and Big Mac didn't see much out of him.
Mac, you know what? He showed something. He made a play. Those Cole Beasley over the middle, you know, making some tough catches. He shows like that's going to be his role in this offense. He's going to be a slot guy, and he did just that. So if there's any bright spot in the passing game, it's got to be.
I guess, you got to go to Matt Collins.
I mean, Quentin Morris. I mean,
Quentin Morris. I mean, he does his job. He's like a utility guy. You know, sometimes he lines up at the fullback. Sometimes he lines up as a wing back. He may go some tight end at you, but I don't know. I don't know. Show me something wide receiver room. Show me something I could say, okay, we're good. Because right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And one of our comments right there, Trubisky holds the ball too long. That is true. And the defense does not have to game plan against Josh Allen, who can run at any time. And you don't want to get Josh Allen on the run because now your defense got to play against the run and the pass. So you don't want to get him on the run. So when it's a more pocket passer like Mitch Trubisky is, yeah, it can be a little difficult, but still, show me something, wide receivers. Show me something. Show me something.
Yeah. Curtis Samuel dealing with a turf toe.
Yes.
Again, hopefully we can get him back soon. The injury bug is really 14 players for the Buffalo Bills are down on the injury list. So, we hope to get these guys back.
There were rumors. There were rumors that there were talks of bringing in Ryan Tannehill because Mitch Trubisky is hurt. So bringing in Ryan Tannehill to be Josh's backup. I don't know how true those rumors are. They were just rumors. Do not quote me on anything until it happens. This was not quoted by Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, so we don't know how valid it is. They were just talks.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that was that. There was a nice catch by Zach Davison, number 84. He's the fourth tight end on this roster. I really like his size, number one, at being at 6'7". He had a nice catch down the seams towards the red zone there on the first, I believe it was the first quarter.
Yeah, it was the first quarter. Yeah, that's when.
And he, got him right down in the red zone. I really like this kid. It's going to be tough to make this roster. Again, this is a guy who I don't see him being there if he gets released. I don't see it. Yeah,
as a tight, maybe you might want to, hit the weight room or hit the track and try to make it as a receiver because tight end. But again, he did exactly what we asked him. Get some film, make some film. We said it on this show. I've said it on the show plenty of times. All 32 teams are watching every preseason game. They all need players. They're all watching. So if you don't make it here, you can make it somewhere else.
I am checking the breaking news that the Buffalo Bills have, as just mentioned there by Christopher and John as well. They both mentioned that Anthony Brown was just signed with the Buffalo Bills. That was reported an hour ago.
Wow.
So they are bringing guys in. They are bringing guys in. Hey, let's just see how it goes at this point. The injury bug is really hitting us. And, better than DiNucci at this point.
Yeah. He just, it was just deer in the headlights. Look, I'm just like, okay. I don't want to put Josh Allen in, but we might want to put Josh Allen in.
No, we don't. No.
It was that bad. It was that bad, man. I get it. He got signed on Wednesday. I get it, but, come on, man.
You know what? I don't want to see Josh Allen to the week one. Honestly,
he's not going to play.
I feel like what you saw out of him in the first preseason game is what you're going to get.
Right.
You don't need this guy 6 year. No.
We're good.
No. Don't even risk it. Guys just want to hit Josh Allen sometimes.
Absolutely. They want to match up against that big 6'5", 255 frame, and they just want to get a shot at him. So we don't keep him on the sidelines. He's not going to play against Carolina. But again, this game is important. This is an important game coming up. We haven't gotten to it yet. We will get to it later in the show. But this game is important. We'll talk about it.
So with that, to close out this talk about the game, Cuzzo, who's your top 5 players? I got a top 5. Who's your top 5?
All right, so far in the first 2 games, my top 5.
No, just of week 2.
Oh,
just
week 2. Okay. Am I giving you my 5 and you got your 5? Or what?
Yeah.
Okay, so my 5, I am going to go with Ray Davis. I am going to go with Greg Rousseau. I am going to go with the Buffalo Joe. He made a great showing out there. 12 tackles and 2 tackles for loss in your first preseason game ever against their starting offense. Got to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to give Dorian Williams his credit as well. He absolutely showed up. He played well. I have no No gripe with him at all. And my fifth is just going to be the entire offensive line because they've been doing exactly what I asked them to do last week, which was show up and push people around. So I got to get that was my top 5.
Yeah, my number one's got to go to Buffalo Joe. Led the team in tackles. I mean, really his first action as an NFL game. Like even though it's a preseason game, it's his first action in the NFL. This is a rookie kid.
Yeah.
Was not drafted, tried out to make this team. Like he's got to be number one. He's got to be number one to me. He's my number one guy.
Do you see a movie in the works for him? Do you see maybe a small film?
I'm not going too early, but I like what I see so far.
Okay.
And number 2 has got to be my man Kyer Elam. He's really shown a resurrection season so far from the preseason and training camp. I'm really liking this kid, and hopefully we can see where we can move him if we need to move him to the safety position like we've been talking about all the past 2 years. Maybe that's where he may be best at. With the injuries down, he continues to show that he can come downhill, he can tackle, he can cover well. He's adjusting well in the zone now. He's my number 2. Okay. Number 3, got to go to Ed Oliver, continuing to be the anchor of the defense. He's the reason why these defensive ends are doing so well. That's my personal belief because he's collapsing the pocket quickly, coming downhill. So he's doing very well. And then, as you mentioned, Gregory Rousseau. Rue is, contract year. He's showing he want that contract.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna make it.
It's almost like Epinesa last year, right? Epinesa showed us last year he wanted that contract. Now this year, Rousseau I'm going animal. So that's my number 3 guy. But is that my number 3? Yeah, that's my number 3.
That was
That's
4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
And number 5, I got to give it to McGovern. This is a new year for McGovern playing center. Played guard last year. And look, man, he's starting to get comfortable. I was very concerned last week. I was concerned in training camp based off the snaps of the ball that I was hearing from my man Joe Marino. But I'm gonna tell you, this kid is coming into his own at center. So keep up the good work, McGovern. We need you there. Your veteran present there. You saw what Mitch Morris did. You have the experience to go out there and be that guy, that Josh Allen. That's under center for Josh Allen. So that'd be great.
All right.
So that's my top 5.
All right. Good top 5. Would not give Elam my top 5, but hey, to each his own. You see what you see.
All right. So now let's take you guys into our next segment, which is.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
Keep the hate coming. Buffalo Against the World show.
Turn me up some more so my haters can hear.
All right. This week's hater of the week, Cuzzo Brad. Give it to him.
Okay. My hater of the week is going to go to Tua Turn the Ball Over. Sorry. Tua Tagovailoa. Okay. All right. First of all, you already get smoked because you're a Miami Dolphin. That's number 1. That's why you already get it. Number 1. Number 2, you just blasted your former coach who actually made your team better before you got Mike McDaniel. This man just sat up on the Dan Le Batard. Shout out to Dan Le Batard. Respect your show. Respect what you do. You should have never took your show off the air. Love Dan Le Batard. Shout out to him. But no, he went on Dan Le Batard's show disrespecting Brian Flores. Am I a big fan of Brian Flores? Not really. But this man said, and I quote, the question was, what is the difference between Brian Flores and Mike McDaniel? He said, quote, if you woke up every morning and someone told you that you suck at what you do and that you don't belong here, and then someone, Mike McDaniel, comes in and tells you that you're the best at what you do, and it would be stupid to trade you or to send you to any other franchise, how would you feel? Really, dude? Really, Tua? That got you in your feelings? So what you're telling me is you're soft. You're soft. Brian Flores had high expectations and had a lot of pressure on you as a rookie, and you didn't like that. He said things to you that you didn't like, and you're gonna bash this man after one season where that team was awful before he took over that team, and he won 9 straight and got fired. But anyway, that shows me you couldn't play for Bill Parcells. You couldn't play for Bill Belichick. You couldn't play for hard-nosed coaches like Pete Carroll or the playoff guy. Remember the playoff guy? What's the playoff guy's name? Remember the playoff guy? What's his name?
That's
playoff guy.
You know who we talking about. It's
Google.
Yeah,
Google.
Y'all know it is.
You couldn't play for guys like that. That guy. You couldn't play for him. How you made it under Nick Saban, who will curse you out for anything, is beyond me. So that shows a lack of character that she's going to badmouth Brian Flores. Tua, they all hate you. They all hate you in Miami. No one likes you. Everybody hates your guts. Jordan Poyer posted a picture next to you in the locker room. He don't like you either. No one likes you there. They tolerate you. The receivers make you better. So my hater of the week goes to Tua, turn the ball over. Hopefully you give us a lot of turnovers this year. And that's my hater of the week. Tua, turnover over. Wow.
All right. So that leads us to our winner sin segment. Buffalo fans, all those watching, we need you to chime in on this. Is it a win or sin that through 2 preseason games, the Buffalo Bills have scored no touchdowns? Win or sin? For me, absolute sin.
Yeah.
Absolute sin.
Yeah.
Young players, young, hungry, bigger, stronger, faster, as we've been talking about. No touchdowns yet.
Yeah.
Nothing. Big guys who can just throw fade passes to haven't even really seen the fade pass yet.
I've seen it once. They didn't run it once. It was a terrible throw.
Again, something that should have been practiced if you got 6'5", 6'6", 6'4" guys like NVS and you got Knox and you got Kincaid, you got these bigger guys, 6'2", 6'3". Why are you not doing that in the red zone? I don't know. So I'm going to say definitely a concern, and it's definitely a sin. What's your thoughts?
Okay. It's a sin, but it's more of a I get it sort of thing. Because there were a couple of times in this game, in this week specifically, Sean McDermott could have easily went for it. He could have easily went for it, got the first down. He just decided to kick the field goal. I don't know why. I don't know if he maybe thinks Bass needs more infield work, more kicking ability. I don't know. But there were a couple of times he could have easily went for it, and we could have got the first down. I want to give Sam Martin a shout out too, because he's been punting very well. Sam Martin's been doing a great job punting, so he definitely earned that spot. But you got to put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you win in this league. You got to put the ball in the end zone. We haven't able to get a touchdown in 2 games. Not putting the ball in the end zone once. That's scary. That's scary to me. Scary to me. Not running, not passing, not kick return, not punt return, not pick 6, nothing. That's scary to me. So it's definitely a sin.
Definitely a sin. Something that we got to work on. The season is right there. It's right there. We got to get some guys some confidence. I would like to see Coleman score a touchdown before the season starts. You know what that would do for his confidence. He's just itching to get that ball lobbed to him for a touchdown. So I think it's an absolute sin with the firepower that we've gotten on the offseason and in the draft that we have not scored the ball. The running backs that we have, that they haven't scored the ball. It's a sin. It's a sin at this point. So if there's any bad takeaways I have from the game, it's definitely from the production on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay. Respect.
Yeah, all right. At this time, we're going to go into our next segment, which is Bills Mafia Trivia.
The party starts in 3, 2, 1.
All right, Bills Mafia fans, Buffalo against the world. We give you the best Bills Mafia trivia, and it's never easy. So make sure you paid attention to the wording of the question. That's why I read it down for you. So here we go.
How many times in school you were told to read the question? Sometimes you sort of sound the question out. Sometimes the answer is in the question.
Yeah. So who was the Buffalo Bill? Who was the Buffalo Bill named NFL Player of the Year? All right. So you guys, come on, bring them in. No Google, because we could tell if you wait 5 or 10 minutes or so to come with your answer, you went to Google. You went to 2 minutes, you went to Google. Give us your answer all you had. There's only a select few guys that were players of the year and for the Buffalo Bills, so that really should narrow it down.
Now read the question. Who was the Buffalo Bill named NFL Player of the Year?
Absolutely great guess, my man Christopher.
Good guess.
Great guess. Great guess.
Wonderful.
Excellent guess.
Wonderful. He didn't read the question.
All right, we got Deion Dawkins.
Lee. He clearly didn't read the question. He didn't read the question.
Oh,
we appreciate the guest, though.
Coming in, guys. Deion Dawkins definitely was a Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Man of the Year. That was a Man of the Year.
Yes.
Player of the Year.
Yep. NFL Player of the Year.
Now think about it.
Think about this. Thurman Thomas was the best answer that we got so far.
That was close. Very close. It makes sense. It makes sense. We'll tell you why it makes sense, why somebody would say that. But we want to know, who was the Buffalo Bill named?
Sandra says NFL? Josh Allen.
No, it was not Josh Allen.
It was not Josh Allen.
For some reason, he deserves one of those, though. For some reason. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe he just keeps making plays and keeps doing everything awesome. Maybe he deserves one of those. I don't know.
So far, we got Terminator, we got Deion Dawkins, and we got Josh Allen. We'll give one more, and then we'll give you guys the answer.
Give us one more. Give us one more. Think about the question.
Who was the Buffalo Bill named NFL Player of the Year?
A lot of great players. A lot of great players throughout the history of this franchise. A lot of great players. But who was the Buffalo Bill named NFL Player of the Year?
All right. He says,
I'm stumped.
All right. Well,
are y'all ready? You ready for this?
We're going to drop this bomb really quickly. And this man was called
The Juice. There he is.
There you go.
The
Lee.
Juice.
No, Lee. Not James Cook.
It was not James Cook. His picture.
No, Christopher, it was not.
It should be Eric Moles. It should be Eric Moles, but no, it was The Juice. We said, who was the Buffalo Bill named NFL Player of the Year? Not most valuable
player of the year.
Not MVP, not Walter Payton Man of the Year. We said Buffalo Bill named NFL Player of the Year. The MVP was not a thing yet at the time. And the man who won the NFL Player of the Year was none other than Orenthal James Simpson, a.k.a. The Juice.
1973. O.J. Simpson won the NFL Player of the Year. Look, what's your thoughts, Cuzzo? Do you think the NFL Player of the Year is a better nomination than the MVP? What you think about that?
I don't know, man, because I
feel like I
it depends who wins it. It depends
who
wins it.
Most valuable player.
It depends
NFL
who wins it.
Player of the Year.
I don't know.
I don't even know why they went away from that, to be honest, because it actually sounds
obviously,
better.
MVP sounds better, most valuable player, but I get it. Like, it depends on it's usually quarterbacks. A lot of the same guys win it over and over. I don't think a defensive player has won it in a long time, but it depends who wins it. If you're the best quarterback in the league, you're probably going to win MVP. Now we mentioned Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas was in 1991. He was most valuable player because he was pretty much doing everything in 1991. So it really depends on who wins it. It really depends. To me, I think the award the award, whoever wins the award creates the prestige for it. Because, I mean, it's pretty much going to be a quarterback, and it's not fair.
Yeah, I think, there's a thought, but I just feel like when you say NFL Player of the Year, that means the whole league, you are the face of the league.
Right.
You are the face of the league. Most valued player, most valuable, that's great.
Yeah.
But to say you're the best player in the NFL for that season, I like that title a little bit better than most valuable. Just my opinion.
I like it too. I mean, I like, obviously we watched the NFL Top 100 to see who's the best player in the league, and Tyreek Hill was number 1 this year. But I mean, to me, I feel like Aaron Darnold should have won an MVP, and he doesn't have one. He should have one.
Yeah,
he should have one. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's a
McCaffrey
quarterback.
should have had it last year, in my opinion. McCaffrey should have had it last year, in my opinion.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, I think it's become a quarterback award, and I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah. Definitely so. I mean, that's exactly what John Roberts just said as well. It has become basically a quarterback award. Like, who's the best quarterback? Like,
pretty much.
And again, we get where the league is trying to go into more scoring points and, throwing the ball deep and this and that. Okay, we get it. But there are other players on the team that are valuable. And, I feel like it was no doubt that McCaffrey should have won last year. No doubt. If there was a time a running back should have won it, should have been him last year.
Do you think he didn't win it because he was lacking something?
I mean, Lamar Jackson won it.
I know, but I mean,
so he don't have one of those.
Do you think he would have gotten it had he got something though?
No, because the award came out. They made the votes before the Super Bowl.
Did they though?
The announcement came before the Super Bowl. Yeah. So I don't think the ring had anything to do with it because Lamar didn't get a ring either. So one was in the Super Bowl, one wasn't. Go figure.
I don't know, man. I agree with you. I think McCaffrey definitely should have won it. Now, to be fair, Lamar Jackson played absolutely phenomenal. He played absolutely phenomenal last year. He won it already. He won it already. And McCaffrey was literally everything for the 49ers, except for defense. But I think he should have got it.
Yeah, Christopher agrees with us. I think definitely a lot of controversy with that. But again, come on, NFL. We gotta stop picking the top quarterbacks. Like, that's gotta stop. Like, we gotta change that. There are other players that matter to teams, and McCaffrey definitely was a guy I thought so. So we got some quick takes here, and then we're going to get into this how to get a dub for against Carolina. Cuzzo Brad, look, man, let's do this real quick. Best Bills player last week. We did the quarterbacks of the draft. Now we're going to do the best Bills players of the draft. We're going to do some quick takes. If you got a quick take, drop it in the chat as well. Cuzzo Brad, I went first last time. You go ahead and go.
Are we picking 5 or what are we doing here? We picking 5?
We just picking until we can't pick no more. Go ahead.
Okay. Stevie Johnson.
Jason Peters.
Jairus Byrd.
Aaron Schobel.
Marshawn Lynch.
Fred Jackson.
CJ Spiller.
No. Eric Moulds.
You can't. No, Eric Moulds is not in the drought. He was in a playoff game. You can't pick him.
Oh yeah, he was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice try, Scott.
No. Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams.
That was my next guy. Kyle Williams. That was my next guy. London Fletcher.
Terrell Owens.
Ooh, that was my next. You keep taking my guys. Okay.
We talking about the
Scott
drought
Chandler.
era.
Scott
We're talking
Chandler.
about the drought era. We're talking about the drought era.
Yeah.
Scott
Chandler.
Dude. No.
Scott Chandler wasn't good?
No,
Scott
he
Chandler
wasn't
good.
No.
He wasn't a good tight end?
Marcel
Wow.
Darius. Marcel Darius. Let's get this in perspective.
Wow.
Let's get back on track here.
Y'all
Marcel
really just
Darius.
act like Scott Chandler wasn't that boy. Wow.
Let's go to Marcel Darius.
George Wilson. What? What, George Wilson wasn't nice? Undrafted wide receiver who came to be a good safety?
Kozlowski.
Really? Really? And you talk about Scott Chandler, you bring up Paul Kozlowski?
Kozlowski was a good player for the Bills.
Yeah, and he went to another team and went to the playoffs. But he was a good player for the Bills. All right, since we're doing that. Oh, man. Leonis McKelvin.
McKelvin was good. Fitzpatrick.
Ooh,
Fitzpatrick. I got to go Fitzy. I got to go my man Fitzy.
Oof. God, that was a good pick. Okay. Marquise Goodwin. Underrated.
Dude, what?
Underrated player.
Cousin Brad just messed it up, guys.
How did I do that?
No.
Okay. He came to us. He was a speedster.
He was a speedster. He had like 2
he played well.
Touchdown, kickoff return touchdowns.
And then went to the 49ers and became their best player.
Bro, we in our top 20. He's not in our top 20 best player. I'm going to help you out here. Bledsoe.
Okay. Reuben Brown.
No, he was in the playoffs.
When was he in the playoffs?
He was in the playoffs in the 90s, bro. He was in the playoffs.
Okay, fine. JP Lossman.
Yo, somebody help Cuzzo Brad right now.
Somebody
help Cuzzo Brad right now. Peerless Price.
Lee Evans.
There you go. That's
all
right.
One. Now we're back.
Now we get into those guys like Lossman and guys like that at this point because now we passed 20. Shaquille Spikes.
You read that and they didn't even spell it right.
It's Shaquille Spikes. TKO.
Willis McGahee. Yeah.
Travis Henry.
Okay.
You like that one?
I like that one. You know what? This guy, he wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible either. I'm going to just say AVP, Alex Van Pelt, man. You got to throw him in there.
I feel like Van Pelt went to the playoffs with Kelly back in the day.
He
wasn't backup when Kelly was playing. He didn't go to
the playoffs with us. He didn't come to like Todd Collins was here. Like he didn't come in a
Van
while.
Pelt. Somebody looked that up for us. Alex Van Pelt. I believe he was in the 90s. He came in like the 90s, like the mid 90s.
Okay, fine.
I feel like he went to the playoffs.
That's a dispute. I'll take him out.
He's not on the list.
Nate Clemens.
Oh, Lee just dropped a bomb on us.
Yeah,
Nate Clemens was good. Nate Clemens was good. Eric Wood. Eric Wood is definitely somebody. Let me think of someone else.
I got a good one. One.
Peter McClevin.
Never heard of him.
Never
heard of him. Sorry. Just saying. But y'all talk about Scott Chandler.
Lorenzo Alexander was actually there when we went to our first to end the drought. He was actually there that season with Kyle Williams. So he don't count.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Pearson Prelude. Remember him? Yeah. Forgot about him.
He wasn't good.
He was good.
He wasn't good.
Him. He was good.
He was not good.
Come on, man. Now y'all just throwing disrespect that guy.
Antoine Winfield does not.
He was a playoff guy.
He was a playoff guy. He was before the drought. Yeah.
Okay.
And then no.
Troy Vincent.
Tyrod Taylor took us to the playoffs. He ended the drought.
Did
you forget
playoff guys? You said Kyle Williams and nobody said anything, but he was in the playoff game or whatever.
That is true.
Forget that happened, but whatever. Okay, I said Troy Vincent.
Troy Vincent was a good one. Oh man, Percy Harvin.
Dang, that was a good one.
Lee got Mario Williams. Did we name Mario?
I think you did. Carlos Williams, the Ghoul. Remember him? Yeah. Carlos Williams.
Yeah, Carlos. He was a 1 year wonder. He was really good, and then he gained all that weight. All that weight. Yeah.
He was on the team.
Aaron Williams. There's another good one from Doug. He was definitely a fan favorite when he switched over to safety. Him and Jairus Byrd, him and Birdman together. That was a nice little safety tandem.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice little safety tandem.
All right. James Posey.
Yeah.
Wow. We are really disrespecting a lot of Bills players here.
I'll rather say, I would rather say, than Posey. I would rather say, Dante Whitner.
I didn't like him.
I didn't either. But I mean, we're in like the 40s right now, bro.
I know. Okay.
We're in like the 40s right now.
My last one is going to be a doozy. Ready for this one?
Go ahead.
Brian Moorman. Boom!
Oh, yo. He should have been top 5, bro.
Boom.
He should have been top 5.
You forgot about him.
So you're going to go Moorman. I'm going Ryan Lindell then. That's my last guy. Lindell, who's the kicker. Lindell was pretty good, man.
Okay.
He was pretty good in the drought era, man. Lee put honorable mention Corey Graham's hometown boy. Definitely for the shout out to the hometown team. All right, cuz before we get out of here, we got to talk about how to get a dub against Carolina. Look, man, there's some things that we want to continue to see. We want to see my man Buffalo Joe continue on his tear. We want to see more from Dorian Williams, but we got to score a touchdown, and we got to get these wide receivers
forget
going.
How to get a dub. Let's how to get a touchdown. How to get a touchdown this week. Forget how to get a dub. Here's how to get a touchdown. You take the ball when it's in your possession, you run it over the goal line. Boom! That's how you get a touchdown. You avoid all the guys on defense, all the 11 guys, and you put the ball over the goal line. Like, forget the dub. I don't even care if we win. I just want to score.
Bro, we need to win. We for championship aspirations, we need to win, especially against a team that's developing like Carolina. Like, you need to always. We struggled last year with teams that we should have beaten badly. Let's not forget that.
Third string versus the third string. I want to see a touchdown. I don't even care if we win. I don't care if we get blown out 38-7. As long as we got that 7. I just want the 7. I don't care what happens. I want to
see those blowouts.
Honestly, I'll stop if we score. If we score in our first drive, I'll stop watching the game. I'm like, okay, we scored. I'm good.
You got to watch the game. You got a show to talk about, sir.
Just score. That's how how to get a dub. Score more points than the other team. Yeah. That's how you get a dub.
Well, I'm thinking that obviously we got to see what Coleman has before the season starts. Like I said, I want to get him reps to get him confident going into the season. He's listed as wide receiver number 1. I have not seen that. He did have a catch last week. And, again, it's really concerning with these wide receivers, what I've saw through 2 games. So I need to see something. I need to see a spark from those wide receivers. So, Brady, draw it up. Joe Brady, draw something up. Hey, get us 6 going into the NFL season. I think we got to continue to see Joe. We got to continue to see Dorian Williams. Front 4, they proved their point. At this point, it's going to come down to who are the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th guys that make this roster in different position groups. So, guys, give it all you got. So, I want to see guys playing hard. I want to see some hard-nosed hitting. I want to see hey, look, this may be your last opportunity to make the Buffalo Bill roster. So, I'm expecting a win.
Absolutely. I'm expecting a win, too. I think we score a touchdown and build off that momentum. Score early. Go out there. It's going to be the 3rd strings versus the 3rd strings. Young fellas, young guys struggling to make the team. Get some film. Get some film this week. Have a hard week at practice. Give it every ounce in your body. And you never know. You might not get called into the coach's office and he asks to have your playbook.
And the thing is,
might not come see you.
The thing is, though, Cuzzo, if these guys are not motivated by the injuries that is ahead of them right now, I don't know what will motivate you. Then you don't deserve to make this team.
Right.
And this is what Joe Andreessen did. He looked at the opportunity before him and said, look, everybody's down, Milano's out, but I'm here. And I want to see that continue for Joe. I want to see him continue with that same mental attitude going into next week's game to make this 53-man roster. Because, again, you got a guy named Deion Jones who has experience. You know, he's got experience in the NFL, and you've got to outshine him. You've got to show that you belong on the field with a guy like Matt Milano, with a guy like Dorian Williams, with a guy like Terrell Bernard. Even when they are back, you still have to prove that. So, look, man, that's the type of tenacity that I want all of those guys who may have a struggle to make this roster, is to put that fight in now. Wide receiver group, put that fight in. Quarterback, whoever you're going to be, put that fight in and leave it all on the field against the Carolina Panthers on Saturday.
I'm booking it. Buffalo Joe makes the team. Booking it. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo Joe makes the team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm also booking it. Barring injury, this kid makes the team. I can't let that dude walk out the door. Not the way he played. I was so impressed. Like, this guy, his instincts.
Understood the assignment. He knew what he must do when he walked out of the locker room. Said, this is my opportunity. He must have listened to Eminem's Lose Yourself about 80 times before he came out. And he succeeded. So shout out to him.
Yeah. All right, this is the 40th episode of Buffalo Against the World. We continue and many, many more to come. But make sure you like, share, subscribe to the Built-in Buffalo platform. Make sure you do that on YouTube as well. Go to YouTube, search Built-in Buffalo, okay? And then hit the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you get us every time we're on 7 p.m. Buffalo Against the World. And we got to give a big shout out to the official energy partner, which is Monster Energy Drink. So shout out to them. Shout out to you fans. Shout out to my cousin Brad. Shout out to everybody. And we will see you next Monday hopefully we're talking about a dub.
I think we're talking about a touchdown. I don't even care if the defense gets it. It's the score.
No, I want an offensive touchdowns. Thank you, everybody, for being with us, and we'll see you next Monday. Holla.
This is Buffalo Against the World Sports Talk with Kulu and
Cuzin Brad.
Bills Mafia. It's our time.
Act like you know, baby.
Act like you know.